Get ready for the action, because we are kicking things off with the incredible results from Le Mans. Jorge Martin from Aprilia Racing delivered a stunning comeback, winning his very first Grand Prix in 588 days, showing unbelievable late race pace as he fought tooth and nail for victory. We dive into the emotions and sacrifices that define this historic triumph and what it means for the future of Aprilia.
Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to hold it with one hand? The PopSocket's Pop Grip gives you a secure grip, works as a phone stand, and even lets you swap the top for a fresh new look. Simple, useful, and perfect for everyday phone use. Click the link in the comments to grab yours on Amazon.
Next up, we look at the intense battle for the podium where Marco Bezzecchi finished as runner-up, leaving us with sky-high anticipation for Barcelona. We explore his perspective on the weekend, his gratitude for the team, and how he stands 1 point ahead in the World Championship standings. It's a story of solid results and looking ahead to what's next for the Italian star. Now, let's talk about history being made. AI Ogura has officially added his name to the MotoGP podium, becoming the first Japanese rider in 14 years to do so, and the first ever finisher to come through the Asia Talent Cup. We break down his incredible late race pace and what this achievement signifies for his career moving forward. And finally, we uncover the major speculation surrounding Marc Marquez's future after his recent injuries. We investigate what Ducati is truly saying about his contract extension through 2028, the growing concerns about his retirement timeline, and the internal discussions behind the scenes. Don't miss this deep dive. Stay with us for all the latest MotoGP drama. The Michelin Grand Prix of France at Le Mans delivered a weekend packed with emotional victories, intense rivalries, and significant manufacturer milestones in MotoGP. Jorge Martin from Aprilia Racing secured a stunning emotional victory, marking his first Grand Prix win in 588 days. Martin described his triumph as a culmination of faith and hard work, stating, "I never thought that I could fight for victory, but for sure, I never gave up." He credited his team and the Aprilia bike for the success and reflected on past challenges, noting that setbacks have shaped him into the rider he is today. Marco Bezzecchi finished second, narrowly missing the podium, though he expressed deep satisfaction with the team and the development progress. He maintained a 1-point advantage in the World Championship standings heading into the next race in Barcelona. Aprilia Racing celebrated a historic All-Aprilia podium, with AI Ogura completing the podium. Ogura achieved a significant milestone by becoming the first Japanese rider to podium in 14 years and the first MotoGP podium finisher to come through the Asia Talent Cup. Ogura acknowledged the team's efforts while identifying qualifying and early race pace as areas for future development. In the battle for the top step, Pedro Acosta and Fabio Di Giannantonio engaged in a fierce exchange. Acosta admitted to being overly defensive, stating, "Nobody gets past me while looking at me," while Di Giannantonio highlighted a strategic attack plan that paid off. Acosta also noted that his crash was partly due to over-defending, signaling unfinished business for the upcoming race. Francesco Bagnaia faced a difficult end to his weekend, suffering a crash on lap 16 that ended his overall positive result. Despite the incident, Bagnaia remained positive about the team's hard work and improvements, noting that pace was generally good, even if a difficult start and a bike issue led to the final incident. Growing uncertainty surrounds Marc Marquez's future in MotoGP following a recent serious crash at Le Mans, but Ducati is firmly standing by its commitment, asserting that the Spaniard remains under contract for the next 2 years. Marquez recently underwent surgery on his right shoulder and foot on Sunday, a procedure necessitated by ongoing complications in the season. The injury was exacerbated during a sprint race accident at the French Grand Prix, where a heavy high-side resulted in a fractured foot, sidelining him from the upcoming Barcelona round as well. While Marquez is now focused on rehabilitation and expressing confidence in a swift recovery, questions about his long-term commitment persist, with some speculating this incident could prompt him to retire when his current contract concludes in 2026. Despite external speculation, There is strong internal belief that Marquez has secured an extension with Ducati, potentially extending his commitment through 2028. Neil Morrison of the Paddock Pass podcast reported that Ducati Communications quietly confirmed this behind the scenes. Morrison detailed a conversation where he inquired about any concern that Marquez might view the recent injury as too many setbacks. The response reportedly indicated that Marquez had signed for 2 more years, committing to 2027 and 2028, with the team's perspective being one of resilience and moving forward. The prevailing view suggests Marquez has agreed to a deal keeping him at Ducati until 2028, reportedly finalized during the February Sepang test. However, specifics remain unclear, especially as Marquez has voiced hesitation regarding a multi-year commitment due to his persistent injury issues. There is also speculation that Marquez is exploring options, including testing the new 850cc bikes next season, which might indicate flexibility in his contract, potentially allowing him to depart Ducati as early as 2027, perhaps on a 1-year deal with an option for a 2nd year, contingent on his physical condition. Spanish celebrity news is currently focused on the personal support surrounding MotoGP rider Marc Marquez following a double surgery. After a spectacular crash at the Le Mans track in France, Marquez suffered a fracture of the 5th metatarsal bone in his right foot, which has ruled him out of the upcoming Catalan Grand Prix. By Sunday, Marquez was hospitalized at Hospital Ruber International for 2 procedures, stabilizing the fracture and removing a screw from his shoulder that was causing nerve pressure. Throughout this critical time, model Gemma Pinto has remained by his side, officially with whom he has been since May 2023. Her presence in the hospital room, captured in photos overlooking Madrid, has garnered significant media and public attention. Gemma Pinto's unwavering support has become a central narrative, with her social media posts fueling public interest alongside medical updates. Ducati has issued an official statement confirming that both surgeries were successful and the recovery is progressing positively. Marquez is expected to be discharged today and will continue his rehabilitation at home with Pinto by his side. While the timeline for Marquez's return to the track remains uncertain, the absence of the Spaniard in the Catalan Grand Prix is confirmed. This incident has prompted broader discussions in the Spanish press regarding the role of personal support in the lives of celebrities, drawing parallels to other high-profile cases. The story of Marquez and Pinto highlights how personal gestures, such as shared moments in vulnerable times, transform into public discourse, demonstrating how private support details become as compelling as athletic achievements for the public. Growing uncertainty surrounds Marc Marquez's future in MotoGP following a recent crash at Le Mans, but Ducati is firmly standing by its commitment, confirming that the Spaniard remains under contract for the next 2 years. Marquez recently underwent surgery on his right shoulder and foot on Sunday, an operation that was also scheduled due to ongoing complications in the season. The injury was exacerbated during a sprint race accident at the French Grand Prix, where a heavy high-side resulted in a fractured foot, forcing him to miss the upcoming Barcelona round. Marquez is now focused on rehabilitation and expresses confidence in a swift recovery. Despite the positive outlook on his physical recovery, questions about Marquez's long-term commitment persist. Speculation is mounting that this incident could prompt him to consider retiring when his current contract expires in 2026. However, reports suggest a more extended commitment. According to Neil Morrison on the Paddock Pass podcast, Ducati remains confident in Marquez's dedication through to 2028. Morrison detailed discussions with the Ducati communications team regarding concerns that Marquez might view this as too many setbacks. The team reportedly responded by emphasizing that Marquez has signed for 2 more years, committing to 2027 and 2028, with the attitude being to simply come back from this and get to it. There is a strong belief that Marquez has agreed to a deal with Ducati extending his stay until 2028, a possibility reportedly solidified during the February Sepang test. While details of this agreement remain unofficial, Marquez himself has voiced hesitation about committing to 2 more seasons due to his ongoing injury issues. Furthermore, Marquez has shown interest in testing the new 850cc bikes next season, leading some to speculate that his contract may include flexibility, potentially allowing him to leave Ducati as early as 2027, possibly on a 1-year deal with an option for a second year depending on his physical condition.